What's up, fellow vendors? Today we're doing something different in this video. We're going to discuss about the difference between full line vending and claw machine vending, and this actually does work with other types of vending, but we can go into those kind of details in another video. But I've actually personally experienced a little bit of full line vending myself. I had a full line vending route before I had mini claw machines. I had them for about 3 years before the mini claw machine business, and I just want to give you my personal experience and compare them side by side. Now, I am a bit biased towards this, just to give you a heads up, because I do love claw machines so much more than the full line vending. But I'll give you my experience, and I'm not trying to down full line vending or other types of vending, because if you have a vending route or some sort of vending business, you guys should take pride in that. You are entrepreneurs, and you are going out and you're making something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are building a business and you have something that most people wish and that honestly dream to have. So take pride in that. But this is a side-by-side comparison, and I'm going to give you my personal take on why I believe mini claw machines are the superior route to vending than versus full line vending. So we're going to go over the cost, we're going to go over why the claw machines I think are better, and we're going to talk about the return on investments. So stay tuned, and if you guys haven't already done so, make sure you click that subscribe button. This is the type of information you're looking forward to on vending, and you just want to learn more about vending in general. Make sure you join this channel and become a member, because we talk about this and we talk about how you can start your own business. And make sure, if you haven't already done so, join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. You want to be a part of that community, because there are so many people in this Discord, whether it's full line, bulk, candy, or just claw machines or amusements, or even coin pushers. There are people in the community, and everyone there is helping each other out. So make sure you join that Discord. There's also a mini claw machine giveaway going on in that Discord group. Candymachines.com is wonderful. Kevin is just so great to offer a super mini up for free. The drawing will be held here in the next little while. So make sure, if you haven't already done so, join that claw machine giveaway. It's free. It only takes a minute to sign up for. But let's go ahead and get into this video. So let's go ahead and discuss about my full line experience on my snack and soda machines. I actually had these machines probably about 3 or 4, probably actually more like 4 years, because there was a time period where I had both the claw machines for a short while and the snack and soda machines. It was pretty overwhelming at certain times, and that's why I eventually, as I was expanding my claw machine business, I eventually gave up on the snack and soda machines, and I just gave those away. So, excuse me. So this is what I am going to explain to you is my experience of the full line vending. And right away, let's talk about the income. When I first started with this full line experience, I absolutely loved the extra money. And I was so grateful, because I was able to pick and choose my time to work on this for that extra income, and still be able to work my 9 to 5 or whatever job I had currently. And so the income was pretty decent, but with my locations, it was very, very seasonal. During the off season, my income on the full line snack and soda machines, I would actually, if I wasn't careful enough, I would actually lose money, and that was because a product would go bad. So I had to be very smart on how I did things, and I would actually profit probably about $200 a month between 2 locations, so 100 per location. And I was still happy with that, because I only had attended the machine maybe once a month, and make sure everything was good, and sometimes I would have product that would go bad that I would have to replace, but I still pretty much averaged an extra $200 a month in my income, which is amazing. That would pay for my electric bill and have a little bit of money left over, or something like that. But during the season, my income was actually probably about $1,000 a month, $500 per location profit. And this is after product cost and fuel expenses and whatnot. So that extra $1,000 a month, then I'm at the point where I'm paying my car payment, my electric payment, and I had a really cheap house payment. So I was able to cover all that during the season, but the season only lasted a good 5 months, and then I go back down to that 200. So that was my income from the full line vending. Now, the machines cost, if you were to compare I don't recommend this personally, but I know there are vendors, and it's really smart to do this. But I would always buy my machines used secondhand off of like Facebook Market, Craigslist, or whatnot, and I would spend roughly around $1,000 a machine. But truthfully, a new machine, and I talked to Howard Hospitality, and this is how I know what it costs. And you can Google it. And there are machines cheaper and whatnot, but a good machine will run you about $4,000. So you're spending about $4,000 for a machine, and you're trying to make an income off of it and make a return on investment. This can take some time, and not to mention the product cost. So when you have a full line vending machine, let's say you buy, let's just stick with sodas. With inflation going crazy, it's really messing with the numbers. But I used to buy a can of soda on sale during, like, I would wait for holiday season and buy a whole bunch and stock up and go through the soda machines like crazy. But I would get the soda for about 25 cents a piece, and then I would sell it for 75 cents. But as the years went on, it got to the point where soda was almost 35 cents a can, and maybe even, like, I was making barely double what the cost of the soda can was. So it was like a 2-to-1 ratio. And same with the snacks. I would purchase snacks. Let's say you get a bag of chips for about 25 cents or whatever, and you would sell it for 65 cents. So you'd be just barely double what you would spend on the chips. And so your income was really, after fuel costs and whatnot, I would just say it's a pretty solid. I would be doubling my money. So if I invested $1, I would get $2 back. That was the income that I would be getting. But there would be times, like I say, where I would be putting product in the full line vending, and if it didn't sell, if someone didn't like it, if the community didn't like that type of snack, I'd be eating it myself. And it was, I don't really like too much snack food, so it gets, junk food does get old fast. So, but then it goes to waste and you throw it away. And the other thing I want to talk about in full line vending is the amount of time it takes to fill up a snack and soda machine. I mean, first off, when you're carrying a snack, or a soda in general, soda is so heavy. It takes a long time to fill up the machine, and it's also really, really heavy. Like, when you go to Costco's and Sam's Club to buy your sodas, you're buying 35 packs, 36 packs, just to save on money, to get the bulk buy. And sometimes you have to fill up 300 cans of soda in your machine, which is really good for sales, but it takes a long time to stack the machine. And also with snacks, there's so many different types of snacks. You got to go out there and shop and purchase this product, and you're constantly going through the traffic, and during the season, like holiday season, you got tons of people shopping. It's hectic, and I don't like shopping personally. But there's so much time involved. I would take probably an hour per location just to take care of the service the machine, to get my stack of bills, and I would do it several times a month. So I compared to other type of vending, like the claw machine business, which I'll talk about the times it takes to service a machine over there. It's a night and day difference. It is huge. And like I said, the soda and snacks, they are so heavy. And another problem I would have with the snack machine is like skinny product like Crunch bars or Hershey bars. They sometimes would slip between the coils because someone would be rough and shake the machine, and someone would get a free Hershey bar or a Crunch bar, which would cost me the product that I paid and the cost of the sale. So you're talking about maybe $2-3 worth of product loss. And because of that, that would make it where there was an empty space in the coil, and everyone could see that. They're not going to purchase a Crunch bar if there's nothing to be vended out. They would have to spend 2 Crunch bars to get the price of one. So they're not going to do that. And because of that, when I come back and service the machine a week or two later, that whole week or two, that would make no sales on that particular item. So of course, now the expiration date is 1 or 2 weeks closer, and that would be frustrating to deal with. And you would have to move all that product forward because you have to go first in, first out, and that take a little bit of time just to put 1 or 2 more items that sold in the very back, and then you just be frustrated with that. In my experience, I actually loved the full line business until I got into claw machines, by the way. And I'm not trying to down it, like I said in the beginning. Full line, tip your hats off. You work really hard. Those are some of the hardest vending workers ever. If you see someone doing full line for themselves, that is amazing. They are hard workers. But another thing I want to talk about is trying to expand the full line. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I would buy used machines and roughly around $1,000. And I would buy those combo machines where I could separate, and each one of those the bottom half would be like 350 pounds and the top half would be like 250 pounds. And I would load them up myself, and well, I would have a dolly, whatnot, but trying to load them on the bed because I didn't have a trailer, it was really tough. I would have to do the whole leaning thing and be careful because I know it's a soda machine that has a compressor in there. And it was just a lot of work. I'd be so tired. It would be so hard to move these machines around. And I worked really hard. I went around several towns, and I finally got 2 locations. And my 2 experiences on the 2 locations I got, the first location, after having it for a few months, I didn't even make my money back. Wasn't even close to make my money back. This location probably made about $75 to $100 a month profit, which was decent. But after 3 or 4 months later, the corporate contacted that store and told them that they could not have this soda snack machine. And I had to come back and reload up everything. And it was so frustrating because I just bought a second one and I got that one placed. And after I placed that second one, shortly after that one, and that one was not doing well. That one probably only making $50 a month. And so I didn't put very many snacks in there. But after I placed that one, COVID happened, and that's what I want to get into about COVID. When COVID happened, oh my gosh, the snack and soda machines at my current 2 main spots, the sales went down a lot. People still went to work. There was that shutdown for a short period of time Arizona had for about 15 days or 2 weeks, but when they went back to work, people stopped buying my snack and soda machines. And I didn't really know why, but I talked to a bulk vendor, or I'm sorry, a full line vendor, and he explained to me the reason why the sales went down so much. It was because people were wearing masks now. And he explained it to me because he had over 200 locations, that and many of his locations were hospitals. And he explained because people were wearing masks now, people would pass by his vending machines not wanting to pull down the mask, even though it's a simple task of just getting the drink and pulling down the mask to get a drink, or putting the chips in your mouth. It discouraged people from using the vending because then they would have to take off their mask, whether they were afraid of getting a COVID or not, or just it was the thought of just pulling down the mask and having people see them pull down the mask. It really, whatever the reason is, people stopped purchasing the snack and soda machines during COVID. And even today, so I talked to this vendor. He has several hundred locations of full line vending. And even today, his hospital locations that used to really make bank are a fraction, like a huge fraction, like a 20% or 30% of what it used to be. And so COVID really affected the full line business. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really want to do full line anymore. But now we're done with full line. I want to go ahead and talk about the mini claw machines. And this is where I get real excited because I love the minis. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the claw machines now. Like I said, I'm very excited about the claw machines. Let's talk about actually how I got started in the minis, how I found out about the minis. I want to give you a little backstory. So my very first location I ever had was not a mini claw machine. It was a grocery store, and I still have it. I do have my minis in the grocery store, but I did not even have a claw machines. I came across Quick Play and Claw Kickers and a few other vending channels, and I thought to myself, these kids are making so much money off these claw machines, and they're just kids compared to what I am. You know, at the time, I think I was almost 30 years old, and I'm watching these teenagers have this income that's mind-blowing. And so I was like, I'm going to take this chance, and I'm going to see if I can do this. I want to see how easy this is, because I've already tried the full line. And so I went to my local grocery store that I noticed didn't have any claw machines, and they had a beautiful spot in the entrance, just tons of room. They have power outlet right there, and they didn't have anything. So I went and I talked to the owner. I'm like, look, and I found this ad on Craigslist, and it was an old what do you call it, a toy house or whatever, a rainbow house. I forget the name of it, but it's those old black ones you see at Walmart. And it was just a 32-inch one. Wasn't that big, but I found a clean one on Craigslist, and they only wanted $650 for it. So I showed the picture. I didn't show them that it was on Craigslist because I didn't want them to think about buying them themselves. And I showed it to them, and I told the owner, and the owner sounded interested. And she's like, well, I have a brother I need to talk to. We're partners. Let me talk to him. And so I come back every once in a while and check on them. And she's sometimes, oh, I need to talk to him still. I'm sorry. It's just been so busy. And I'd be patient. But after a week, she did talk, and she contacted me and told me, yeah, go ahead. So as soon as I heard the yes to go ahead, and it was Sunday, and I didn't really want to do anything on Sunday because I'm kind of religious, but I was so excited. I went ahead and I contacted that Craigslist ad, and sure enough, they still had the machine. And I went all the way down to another city. I hate Tucson. I drove all the way to Tucson, and it was a pain in the butt to get this machine out of the house because they had so much stuff in the way. But I got the machine loaded with my father's help, and we took the machine that very day, and we stuck the crane machine in this location, and I was so very happy. I believe this was like August of 2019, the end of August, beginning of September, and that was my very first location. And I wanted to expand. My first collection was probably only $150 or $140, and I would pay the store 30%. That's what we agreed upon. So I barely even came out with $100 that month. But you're talking about hardly any work to get that $100 after it was placed. And I was like, man, I want to expand. There's got to be an easier way so I don't have to ask my father for help, and a way where I can get these claw machines. And the thought came to me because I was looking at those toy claw machines on Amazon that you get for 30, 40 bucks. I thought about mini claw machines. I wonder if that's ever been invented. And I searched for mini claw machines, and I came across Alibaba, which I've never ever made a purchase on Alibaba before. I'm familiar with Alibaba because I looked up ATVs and motorcycles and dreamt about selling motorcycles as a side gig, but I never ordered anything from Alibaba. And I came across this store, and I made my very first mini claw machine purchase. And this first mini claw machine was actually $1,350 after you shipped it out. It was so expensive, but I was so excited. I paid the money and I placed it. And the very first day, I got in there, and the bill acceptor, I didn't know about the dip switches. I didn't work. The bill acceptor didn't work, and I just had it on coin only. And I put the quarter in. I knew about CoinMex a little bit, but I wasn't too familiar with it. But I had built an arcade at home a little bit. Me and my brother did a project, so I knew that I put a dummy coin in, and it was working, and I made like 50 or 60 bucks in the very first day. And that very first month, I made like 400 bucks, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I did the same agreement, 30% to the owner. So I kept about 280 and gave 120. And I was so excited because I just bought one mini, and I've already made so much more money than I've ever had with little effort, as you know, very little effort, and compared to other vending like the full line. So that was my first mini. And then I went out and got myself a 0 APR credit card, and I purchased a whole bunch of these minis. And then COVID happened, and COVID really slowed down my growth, but I was able to get a handful of locations, and some of those locations did shut down, and it took a while for them to reopen, but I still had, just off of a handful of locations, maybe an income of about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. So I was really, really, really grateful for those locations. And I want to tell you guys, the income of the minis, the return on the investment on the minis are so fast. Depending on which mini you can get and what kind of location you get, you can actually get your money back within a month. But so currently, like I said, I paid back then about $1,350 for the first mini. Nowadays, if you get the similar mini that I'm talking about, you can get them as cheap as $425 plus shipping. So roughly around, if you're lucky, $600 on the low end to maybe $650 on the higher end per machine. But there is a minimum requirement to buy at least 4. So if in the current supplier. that we use. But if you're impatient, you want a mini that's right away, we have great US suppliers that will supply you a mini, and you'll have to pay a little bit more. I mean, you're getting a mini right away, and you're getting a top of the line mini, so you can expect to pay with a bill acceptor roughly around $1,300 to $1,500, but you get that location right away. And I actually have kind of a diagram that someone made in Discord, and I kind of added to it just to show you, and I'm putting it on the screen so you can see the return on investment, the cost of the minis, and the different suppliers that we have. So on the screen right now, we can talk about the Super Mini. Super Mini is absolutely great. That's by candymachines.com. In the description is a link where you can purchase this mini, and actually it's an affiliate link, so you'll actually be not helping out my channel because I don't have an affiliate link, but you'll be helping out a friend channel, a really good friend, Howard Hospitality Group, which if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to that channel. They're really great. They're new, but they've been so helpful to the community, so give them some love. So if you go in that link down below, you can find the mini claw machine and purchase a mini claw machine. The other machine, the Golden House, which the link is in the description also. That is one of the top of the line machines also. It's an amazing machine. Both these machines have prize lockers on the top, which means you can put a key inside your claw machine that someone will try to find, and if they find that key, they open up that locker on top and they get a bonus prize. And this bonus prize can be whatever you put in there, and it could be a really intense, like, you can make it entice people to play the machine more. And once that key gets placed inside that locker, the key is locked in there and cannot be pulled out. It's kind of like a how would you say, maybe a post office locker where you put the key in and then the key gets stuck, and the only way to get the key out is with the master key. So that's how the prize locker works. Really cool. Now on the other hand, there's the minis that I commonly use. Like I said, it's $425, about $600, $650 after shipping. And then there's the Mega Mini, which is kind of like the Golden House and the Super Mini, a larger mini with a giant prize locker on the top. This one actually has the largest prize locker, and that one's roughly around $625 plus shipping, which can be anywhere between, after shipped to your door, you can get probably as low as $700 a machine. Just kind of a rough estimate. And on those Golden Houses, the Mega Mini and the Super Mini, return on investment, you can make as much as $800 a month. Matter of fact, I've seen minis make as much as $1,000 or more a month. But I'm just giving you a good solid mini should make you $500 to $800 a month, I would say, on these ones. And so your return on investment could be as fast as 1 month with the Mega Mini, or 2 months with the Golden House and Super Mini. But usually I would expect, if you were to take the time by time, I would expect up to 4 months. And then the regular mini, because they're so cheap, also I have locations that paid themselves off in a matter of 2 weeks even. But it's just a matter of getting the machines into the location, a good solid location. If your machine's not paid off in 4 months, you have a really bad location and you need to relocate, honestly. All your mini machines, your return on investment should always be 4 months or less, honestly. If you don't have that kind of income, if you have the time, relocate those minis, and they're so easy to relocate. And like I said, when I started these minis, it was $1,350 back when I started. So there's a huge difference on where you can get started. You can get started and grow faster than I ever have. And there's so many people in the Discord community that are already experiencing that. And when COVID happened, it did slow me down. But one thing I want to point out is people were still playing my claw machines with masks on. So they still loved my claw machines. And I was really worried because I thought, man, they'd be scared of the germs. But it didn't really slow down my sales too much. And actually, they picked back up and they're pretty solid again. And it's back where they started, where I think full line vending is still suffering a bit. Boy, I know this is a long video, guys, but this is kind of just how I wanted to, there's so much information I just wanted to explain to you and really get you educated on my experiences with the claw machines and the full line vending. And now I just want to kind of do a quick, we'll finish this up pretty fast. We're going to compare some of the full line to the mini, and the reason why I picked the mini over the full line and why I gave up the full line. Let's talk about the pricing of the machines. A brand new mini can be anywhere between $600 after shipped to your door all the way up to $1,500. So there's a huge price difference, right? Versus the I would say the full line snack machines, a good snack machine and good soda machines, according to Howard Hospitality Group, they're about $4,000 a piece. So let's talk about the income comparison. On my best day, I was making $500, or my best month, $500 per month from my snack and soda machines. But when you average it out between the two locations and the two machines, so really it was only $250 per machine is what I was making on the best month of my snack and soda machine per location. And if you were to compare that between all the months, guys, I only made $6,400 a year off my 4 machines. So you divide that by 4. And let me just pull up a calculator so I'll make sure I can get that real fast. So 6,400 divided by 4 machines. So my machine would make roughly around $1,600 a year per machine, and you divide that by 12 months, I averaged $133 a month off my snack and soda machines each. So that's what each machine did. Now you compare it to the mini. If you have a mini in a poor location, I'm saying like an awful location, you still should make more than $133 on average a month. I think my lowest mini, and if it's doing less than this, I pull my machine out and I find another location. Where in the snack and soda machine, if you have the machine there, you don't want to move it. It's 650 pounds. Where a mini is only like 75 pounds, where you can just bear hug it and move it into your car and relocate. But the very bare minimum should be $150. And like I said, this is with my regular mini. I expect if you had one of the super minis, the golden houses or mega minis, you should never hit $150 a month. You should be like double that at the bare minimum. But let's say it's $150 a month. Your return on investment is 4 months because you paid about $600. Maybe it's a little bit more, but it's really close to $600 a machine. So 4 months versus, I think that's if you're making let's do $150. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt on the snack and soda machine. So $150 a month is 2 years and 3 months. But maybe let's even give them a better benefit of the doubt. Let's give them an average of $200 a month. You're still talking about 1 year and 8 months to pay off your snack and soda machine. And that's a lot of work. An hour each time you do a collection, several times a month each time. So you're putting 3-4 hours. Let's say you do it every single week. That's 4 hours. Let's just do two times. So that's 2 hours per location. So that's just a lot of work where you don't even need to take that much time to do a mini. A mini should only take you about 15 minutes at the very most, where you just refill it, wipe down the machine, and collect the money. 15 minutes, you're in and out. Very easy to restock the minis, claw machines. So that's what I'm talking about, like relocating and the weight. A mini is so easy to move around. If you do not like the location, if you get in an argument with the owner, or if the owner is being very unreasonable, or you just want to relocate your route, it just takes a moment to go over there and lift it up and put it in your machine and resecure it, and you're moved. And versus a snack and soda machine, you're going to need a truck and trailer, and you're going to probably have to hire help. Some of those machines, like I said, are 650 pounds or more. And you won't have to worry about product waste in a mini claw machine versus a snack and soda machine, because toys, they can sit in there for all year long and never go bad. I mean, maybe there'll be little bugs that will crawl in there because all the lighting, and you'll just have to clean off your toy, wipe them down. Clean your machines, you guys. Whether it's snack soda machine or a claw machine, clean your machines. You don't want dirty machines, right? Because clean machines will attract customers. But if you compare the income side by side, the return on investment, 1 to 4 months for a mini, maybe even sooner. I have a mini right now placed, and I kid you not, I paid $500 for this mini because I was able to buy such a large bulk. $500. The very first week, I collected $350 from it. The very next week, I collected another $200 from it. I had it paid off in 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks time. Well, technically I still had to pay the owner, but I didn't pay the owner until the end of the month because I only see that owner once a month. And in my mind, I just took the other collections and paid the owner their share, and I still had more money after that. But in 2 weeks, I had my money back on that regular mini. But the return on investment should not take you more than 4 months, where the honestly 2 years for the snack and soda machine. So guys, I'm going to conclude the video here because this is a really long video. And I hope this made you understand the return on investments on versus the snack and soda machines versus the mini claw machines, and kind of made you feel a little bit better about ordering a mini claw machine and getting yourself started. And the best way to get more information, more direct, there are so many members in the Discord. Join the Discord in the link down below. You will enjoy the group. It's a non-toxic community, all there helping people. I mean, obviously you don't want to be a jerk to anyone. If you cause toxicity, whatever, then we'll kick you out. So don't do that. Be good, behave. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you click that subscribe button. Join the group, join the Discord group, join the Extreme Vending subscription. It's free, and you can become a member and learn more about vending in general. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And let's start off 2023. Let's make ourselves successful. Let's all become successful together, because it's just a few steps away, a small investment, and you can get yourself going in the right direction and start making that financial freedom or that extra side hustle that you just need to really enjoy life. Maybe you want to buy a new car and you just don't know about the car payments, but if you start with the mini claw machines and you get like just 2 locations, now you're making an extra $500 a month. That's that car payment that you've always wanted to make, and that a car that you always wanted to help your family out, or that extra bill to pay for that you're just struggling with the electric and you're struggling with the house payment and you just need to make those bills and you just need an extra $300, $500 in cash. 2 machines is all you need, guys. So I hope that inspired you, and I want you guys to know that I really appreciate every one of you, all your support. So thank you so much, and I will see you in another video and talk to you later, guys. Bye.